Alright folks, if your living room feels a little flat and you're tired of staring at plain walls and furniture, let me tell you, flowering plants are the ultimate game changer. They don't just add color, they bring life, texture, and that wow factor guests can't stop talking about. In today's video, we're diving into 24 of the best flowering plants that are trending right now, perfect for brightening up your living room, whether you want something bold and tropical, soft and elegant, or just plain easy to care for. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's turn your space into a blooming paradise. AGAPANTHUS, often called the lily of the Nile, is one of those plants that instantly makes a living room feel more polished and stylish with its tall stems and clusters of trumpet-shaped blue or white flowers that almost look sculpted. It thrives best in bright, indirect light, so setting it near a sunny window will keep it happy and blooming for months. When it comes to watering, this plant prefers soil that's kept lightly moist but never soggy, almost like it enjoys small steady sips rather than big gulps. A well-draining potting mix is key, and it appreciates being repotted every couple of years to give its roots some breathing room. What makes AGAPANTHUS a winner for living rooms is how dramatic yet low maintenance it is. The towering flower stalks become a natural focal point without needing daily attention. And here's a fun detail to remember. In its native South Africa, AGAPANTHUS is known as the flower of love, which means it doesn't just add beauty but also a romantic, meaningful touch to your space. ALLIUM is a bold and quirky choice for a living room, instantly catching attention with its globe-like flower heads that look like something straight out of a modern art gallery. These purple or lavender spheres rise above slender green stalks, giving your space a playful yet elegant vibe that feels both fresh and sophisticated. ALLIUMs thrive in bright, indirect light, so placing them near a sunny window will keep their blooms vibrant, and they prefer soil that drains well, needing only occasional watering once the top layer begins to dry out. They don't demand much fuss, which makes them a perfect fit if you love plants that make a statement without being high maintenance. What's especially fun about ALLIUMs is that their unique, firework-shaped blooms symbolize unity and good fortune, so besides being a conversation starter, they also bring a little extra positivity into your living room atmosphere. ANGELONIA, often nicknamed the summer snapdragon, is a fantastic flowering plant to brighten up a living room with its continuous blooms of purple, pink, or white that look delicate yet last surprisingly long. It thrives in bright, indirect light and appreciates a warm spot where it can soak up plenty of sunshine, making it perfect for a window that gets steady daylight. Watering is pretty simple. Keep the soil slightly moist but let the top layer dry out between waterings, and always make sure the pot has good drainage to avoid soggy roots. ANGELONIA is also known for being tough and resilient, which means you get loads of colorful flowers without the stress of constant care. What makes it extra charming is its faint, sweet fragrance, which subtly freshens the air and makes your space feel more welcoming. Fun little fact, because of its ability to bloom non-stop, ANGELONIA is often called a thriller plant in decor, adding height, color, and flair that instantly lifts the whole mood of a room. Black-eyed Susan is one of those cheerful, golden blooming plants that instantly warms up a living room with its sunny yellow petals and dark brown centers, almost like having little bursts of sunshine in a pot. It does best in bright, indirect light and can even handle a few hours of direct morning sun, making it a versatile choice for a well-lit window area. The soil should be kept evenly moist, but not waterlogged. Think of giving it a steady drink and letting it settle before the next watering. What's great is that this plant is hardy and forgiving, so even if you forget about it for a couple of days, it will still bounce back with its lively flowers. Beyond its looks, Black-eyed Susan symbolizes encouragement and positivity, making it more than just a decorative piece. It actually adds a feel-good vibe to the room. And here's a fun tidbit. Pollinators like butterflies and bees love it outdoors, so when you bring it inside, you're basically inviting a little piece of nature's charm right into your living space. Blanket flower, also known as Gaillardia, brings a burst of fiery energy to any living room with its vibrant red, orange, and yellow petals that almost look like they've been painted by hand. This plant loves soaking up the sun, so placing it near a bright window where it can get plenty of indirect light will keep those bold blooms coming. When it comes to watering, blanket flower is pretty easy going. Let the soil dry slightly between waterings, since it doesn't like sitting in soggy conditions. Its preference for well-draining soil makes it a low-maintenance pick that still delivers a lot of color and personality. What makes it stand out indoors is how long it keeps blooming, often right through the season, which means you'll have a living room that feels lively and colorful for months. And here's a fun fact. Blanket flower gets its name because its patterns and colors resemble the woven blankets of Native American designs, making it not just a plant but also a piece of cultural artistry brightening up your home. Blazing star, also called liatris, is a striking flowering plant that adds vertical drama to a living room with its tall spikes covered in fluffy purple blooms that look like soft bottle brushes. It thrives in bright, indirect light and can even handle a few hours of direct morning sun, making it perfect for a well-lit corner or near a big window. The soil should be kept moderately moist, but it's more forgiving than many flowering plants, so occasional mist waterings won't hurt it too much. What's especially appealing about blazing star is how it grows. Its blooms open from the top downward, which is the opposite of most flowers and gives it a fun, eye-catching quirk. Beyond beauty, this plant also symbolizes joy and happiness, so it doesn't just decorate a space, it uplifts the vibe of the whole room. And here's a neat fact. Blazing star is a favorite among butterflies, so even indoors, it carries that wild, pollinator-friendly energy into your living space. Butterfly weed is a bright and lively plant that instantly lights up a living room with its clusters of fiery orange flowers that feel almost like little bursts of sunshine. It thrives in bright, indirect light but can handle a good dose of direct sun, making it perfect for a sunny window where it can really show off its colors. Watering is straightforward. Let the soil dry out a bit between waterings, since this plant prefers conditions on the drier side and absolutely needs well-draining soil to stay healthy. What makes butterfly weed especially appealing indoors is its ability to add a bold splash of color without needing constant attention, making it both practical and stunning for home decor. Beyond looks, it's a plant rich in symbolism, often associated with transformation and endurance, and it has a deep connection to nature because outdoors it's a magnet for butterflies, especially monarchs. Even inside, it carries that same energy of movement and life, giving your living room a vibrant, natural feel. CATMINT is a charming flowering plant that brings a soft, relaxed vibe to a living room with its delicate lavender blue blooms and aromatic foliage that releases a gentle, minty fragrance. It thrives in bright, indirect light and appreciates a sunny window spot, though it's pretty forgiving if the light isn't perfect. When it comes to watering, CATMINT likes soil that's well draining and slightly on the dry side, so it's better to underwater a little than to let it sit soggy. Its resilience makes it an easy care choice that still rewards you with months of color and fresh scent. What makes CATMINT special indoors is not only its calming appearance but also its ability to create a soothing atmosphere, almost like bringing a touch of a cottage garden into your home. And here's a fun detail. While humans enjoy its look and scent, cats often find the leaves irresistible, so if you've got a feline friend, expect some extra curiosity around this plant. Celosia is a true showstopper for a living room, with its flame-like blooms that come in bold shades of red, orange, yellow, and pink, almost resembling little torches or coral reefs sprouting from the pot. It loves bright, indirect light and thrives near a sunny window, where its colors stay vivid and its blooms keep coming. Watering is simple but important. Keep the soil evenly moist, not bone dry and not soggy, since this plant likes a steady balance. A lightweight, well-draining potting mix works best to support its roots. What makes celosia such a fun addition indoors is how unique and textured its flowers are. They add instant drama and personality to the room without needing much extra care. Beyond just beauty, celosia has roots in symbolism too. It often represents boldness and immortality, which makes it more than just a colorful accent. And here's a fun fact. Some varieties of celosia are even edible and used in traditional dishes around the world, so it's as practical as it is decorative. CLEOME, often called the spider flower, adds a wild yet elegant touch to a living room with its tall stems topped by clusters of pink, purple, or white blooms that spread out like delicate fireworks. It thrives in bright, indirect light and is best when placed near a sunny window where it can get plenty of warmth throughout the day. The soil should be kept evenly moist but never soggy, and a well-draining potting mix will keep its roots happy. CLEOME is relatively easy to care for once it's settled, rewarding you with long-lasting blooms that can make your space feel fresh and lively. What makes it especially intriguing indoors is its unique, spidery shape that gives off a playful, architectural vibe, turning the plant itself into a conversation piece. And here's a fun fact. CLEOME is known to attract pollinators outdoors, like hummingbirds and butterflies, so even inside it carries that natural energy, almost as if it brings a little outdoor garden magic straight into your living room. Chrysanthemum, or simply, mums, as most people call them, is a classic choice that instantly brightens a living room with its dense, colorful blooms that come in every shade from sunny yellows and deep reds to soft pinks and pure whites. This plant thrives in bright, indirect light, and placing it near a window that gets a good amount of natural daylight will keep its flowers vibrant and long-lasting. Watering is fairly simple. Keep the soil evenly moist, but make sure the pot has good drainage so the roots don't sit in water. Chrysanthemums are loved not just for their beauty but also for their ability to clean indoor air, making your living room fresher while looking gorgeous. What really makes them special indoors is how versatile they are. You can match their bloom colors with your decor or even switch them out seasonally for a fresh look. And here's a fun fact. In many cultures, chrysanthemums symbolize happiness, longevity, and good fortune, so besides being decorative, they carry a little extra positive energy into your home. Coneflower, also known as echinacea, is a vibrant and hardy plant that adds a bold splash of color to a living room with its daisy-like petals in shades of purple, pink, orange, or white, all circling around a striking raised cone in the center. It thrives in bright, indirect light and enjoys sitting near a sunny window where it can soak up warmth for steady blooming. When it comes to watering, coneflower is refreshingly low maintenance. Let the top inch of soil dry out before giving it a drink, and always make sure the pot drains well. What makes it especially appealing indoors is its resilience and the fact that it keeps flowering for a long stretch, so your space stays cheerful with minimal effort. Beyond looks, coneflower has a rich reputation for wellness. Its roots and petals have been used in herbal remedies for centuries, making it a plant that's both beautiful and meaningful. Fun fact: butterflies absolutely love it outdoors, so even when grown inside, it carries that natural pollinator-friendly energy right into your living room. Coreopsis, often called tickseed, is a cheerful flowering plant that can instantly brighten the living room with its abundant daisy-like blooms in sunny yellows, rich oranges, and sometimes even soft pinks. It thrives in bright, indirect light, and a warm window spot will keep its colors glowing strong for months. Watering is a breeze. Just allow the soil to dry slightly between waterings since Coreopsis doesn't like to sit in soggy conditions, and pair it with a well-draining potting mix to keep the roots healthy. What makes this plant stand out indoors is how continuously it blooms, giving you waves of color with very little maintenance, almost as if it's designed to keep your space lively without much effort. Beyond its beauty, Coreopsis has a charming symbolism too. It's often seen as a flower of joy and cheerfulness, which makes sense when you look at its sunny face. And here's a fun fact. Coreopsis is so reliable and easy to grow that it's been named the official state wildflower of Florida, a title that speaks to its popularity and enduring charm. Cosmos is a graceful flowering plant that brings a light, airy charm to a living room with its daisy-like blooms in shades of pink, white, and crimson perched on slender stems that almost seem to dance in the air. It thrives best in bright, indirect light and loves a sunny windowsill where it can bask and keep producing flowers for weeks on end. When it comes to watering, Cosmos prefers soil that's kept moderately moist but not soggy. Letting the top layer dry slightly between waterings works perfectly. Its feathery foliage adds extra texture, giving your space a relaxed, garden-like feel even indoors. What makes Cosmos especially appealing is how effortlessly it delivers both beauty and volume. The plant can produce a whole cascade of blooms with minimal care, making it feel like you've got a living bouquet right in your home. And here's a fun fact. In the language of flowers, Cosmos symbolizes harmony and peace, so it not only adds color but also a calming presence to your living room decor. Dahlia is a stunning choice for a living room because its blooms are nothing short of showstoppers, with layers of petals forming perfectly round flowers in colors ranging from soft pastels to bold reds, purples, and even bicolored patterns. It thrives in bright, indirect light and is best when placed near a sunny window where it can soak up steady daylight to fuel its impressive blooms. The soil should be kept consistently moist but never waterlogged, and a rich, well-draining potting mix will give it the nutrition it needs. Dahlias do require a little more care than some other flowering plants, but the payoff is huge. Their blooms are so striking they can easily become the centerpiece of your living room decor. Beyond their beauty, dahlias carry deep meaning too, often symbolizing inner strength, creativity, and elegance. And here's a fun fact. In Victorian times, dahlias were often gifted as a symbol of lasting commitment, making them not only decorative but also a plant with a romantic, timeless touch for your home. Daylily is a vibrant flowering plant that adds a burst of color and energy to a living room with its bold, trumpet-shaped blooms that can appear in shades of yellow, orange, red, or even purple. True to its name, each flower lasts only a single day, but the plant produces so many buds that you'll have a steady display of fresh blooms over time, keeping your space looking lively. It thrives in bright, indirect light and loves a warm, sunny window where it can soak up plenty of daylight. Watering is easy. Keep the soil lightly moist but not soggy, and make sure the pot drains well to avoid root issues. What makes the daylily perfect indoors is its low-maintenance nature paired with such a dramatic payoff, as the flowers practically glow against their long, arching green leaves. And here's a fun fact. Despite each bloom being short-lived, the daylily is a symbol of renewal and fresh beginnings, which makes it a meaningful as well as beautiful addition to your home decor. Delphinium is a striking flowering plant that brings elegance and drama to a living room with its tall spires covered in vivid blue, purple, pink, or white blossoms that almost look like a living column of color. It thrives in bright, indirect light and appreciates a sunny window where it can soak up consistent daylight, though it prefers cooler room temperatures to stay fresh. The soil should be kept evenly moist, never too dry or soggy, and a well-draining potting mix is essential to support its deep roots. While delphiniums can be a little more demanding in terms of care, the payoff is undeniable. Their towering blooms create an instant focal point that adds sophistication to any space. Beyond looks, they also carry a lovely meaning, often symbolizing positivity, protection, and open-heartedness. And here's a fun fact. Delphiniums get their name from the Greek word delphis, meaning dolphin, because their flower buds resemble the shape of a dolphin's nose, adding an extra touch of charm to their already impressive presence. Dianthus, often known as pinks or carnations, is a delightful flowering plant that brings a burst of charm to a living room with its frilly, often two-toned blooms in shades of pink, red, white, and sometimes even purple. These flowers aren't just pretty, they also give off a sweet, clove-like fragrance that subtly perfumes the room. Dianthus thrives in bright, indirect light and enjoys a sunny windowsill where it can stay vibrant for weeks. Watering is simple. Keep the soil lightly moist but allow the top layer to dry out a bit between waterings, since it doesn't like soggy roots. A well-draining potting mix keeps it happiest and blooming longer. What makes Dianthus such a great choice indoors is how compact yet showy it is, adding both color and fragrance without taking up much space. And here's a fun fact. The name Dianthus comes from the Greek words dios, divine, and anthos, flower, which literally makes it the divine flower, a fitting title for a plant that brings beauty and elegance into any home. Euphorbia is a wonderfully versatile plant that brings both structure and surprise to a living room with its striking, often architectural look paired with delicate, colorful bracts that can resemble flowers in shades of red, yellow, or pink. Unlike many other bloomers, Euphorbia thrives in bright, indirect light and can even handle a bit of direct sun, making it a great choice for a sunny windowsill or a well-lit corner. It prefers soil on the drier side, so allow the top layer to dry completely before watering, and always make sure the pot has excellent drainage to prevent root rot. What makes Euphorbia stand out indoors is how low maintenance yet visually dynamic it is. Its unusual growth forms and long-lasting bracts give your living room an artistic, modern feel. Beyond its looks, Euphorbia also has a long history of symbolism, often representing persistence and endurance because of its ability to thrive in tough conditions. And here's a fun fact. Euphorbia belongs to one of the largest plant families, with thousands of varieties ranging from cactus-like shapes to flowering shrubs, so it's a plant that never stops surprising you. Fanflower, also known as Scaevola, is a unique and eye-catching plant that adds a playful twist to a living room with its fan-shaped, half-daisy blooms in shades of blue, purple, pink, or white. Unlike many flowering plants, its blossoms grow in a one-sided, fanned-out pattern that gives it a quirky, modern look perfect for brightening up indoor decor. It thrives in bright, indirect light and will stay happiest near a sunny window where it can soak up plenty of warmth. Watering is easy to manage. Keep the soil consistently moist but never soggy, and choose a well-draining mix to avoid waterlogging. What makes Fanflower such a great choice indoors is how long it keeps blooming, often producing flowers steadily throughout the warmer months, so your living room always feels fresh and lively. Beyond its cheerful appearance, this plant is tough and low maintenance, making it ideal if you want a pop of color without extra fuss. And here's a fun fact. Fanflower is native to Australia and is often associated with hospitality and welcome, which makes it a perfect addition to any living space where you want to create a friendly, inviting atmosphere. Firecracker plant, also called Rosellia equisetiformis, is a lively choice for a living room with its cascading stems covered in clusters of small, tubular red flowers that look like bursts of fireworks in bloom. Its arching, fountain-like shape adds a dynamic flow to any space, making it feel more vibrant and full of movement. This plant thrives in bright, indirect light but can handle a few hours of direct sun, so placing it near a big window will keep it blooming happily. When it comes to watering, it prefers soil that stays lightly moist, though it won't sulk too much if you let the top layer dry between drinks, as long as the pot drains well. What makes firecracker plant special indoors is its ability to flower almost continuously, creating a bold splash of red that feels exotic and energizing without requiring high-maintenance care. Beyond beauty, it also carries a playful energy. Its blooms are favorites of hummingbirds outdoors, so even inside, it brings that same sense of wild garden charm. And here's a fun fact. Because of its fiery, non-stop blooms, it's often seen as a symbol of passion and excitement, which makes it more than just decor. It's a mood booster for your living space. Geranium is a timeless favorite that adds classic charm and steady color to a living room with its clusters of blooms in shades of red, pink, white, and even deep purple. Its rounded, often fragrant leaves give it extra character, making it just as decorative when it's not flowering. Geraniums thrive in bright, indirect light and will happily sit on a sunny windowsill where they can soak up several hours of daylight. They prefer soil that dries slightly between waterings, so a good rule of thumb is to let the top inch dry out before giving them another drink. Too much water is their only real weakness. What makes geraniums so appealing indoors is their reliability. They bloom generously with very little effort and instantly bring a cheerful, cozy vibe to the room. On top of their beauty, geraniums have long been valued for their pleasant scent, which can subtly freshen up your space. And here's a fun fact. Geraniums have been symbols of friendship and comfort for centuries, making them not only a decorative plant but also a thoughtful addition that adds warmth and meaning to your home. Globe amaranth, also known as gomphrena, is a delightful little plant that brightens a living room with its round, clover-like flower heads in shades of magenta, purple, pink, or white. The blooms are small but incredibly vibrant, almost like tiny everlasting pom-poms that keep their color for weeks. It thrives in bright, indirect light and loves a sunny window spot where it can get plenty of warmth. When it comes to watering, globe amaranth is pretty undemanding. Let the soil dry slightly between waterings, and be sure to use a well-draining potting mix to keep the roots healthy. What makes it especially great indoors is how long-lasting and cheerful its blooms are, giving your living space a steady pop of color without much upkeep. Beyond its looks, this plant has a reputation for resilience and endurance, often symbolizing immortality, since its dried flowers hold their color beautifully long after they're cut. And here's a fun fact. Globe amaranth is often used in traditional teas and remedies in many cultures, so it's not only a decorative gem but also a plant with a touch of history and wellness woven in. Hibiscus is a true statement plant for a living room, with its large, tropical blooms that can span several inches across in bold shades of red, yellow, pink, orange, or even multicolored blends. Its dramatic flowers instantly bring a vacation vibe indoors, turning your space into a mini tropical escape. Hibiscus thrives in bright, indirect light and absolutely loves a sunny windowsill where it can bask in several hours of daylight. It prefers soil that's kept consistently moist but not soggy, so regular watering and good drainage are key to keeping it happy. What makes hibiscus such a standout indoors is not only its sheer beauty but also how its flowers open fresh each day, giving you something new to enjoy as part of your daily routine. Beyond looks, hibiscus has long been a symbol of beauty and delicate charm, often associated with warmth and hospitality. And here's a fun fact. Hibiscus flowers are edible and are used in teas, jams, and even cocktails around the world, so this plant doesn't just decorate your living room, it can also inspire a little tropical flavor in your kitchen. And that wraps up our list of the best flowering plants for your living room, each one bringing its own mix of color, charm, and personality to brighten your space. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a fellow plant lover, and let us know in the comments which plant you'd love to bring home first.